Good afternoon and welcome to the 2014 Roadshow here in Brossard, Quebec. Game 1 of 6 here. It is the first ever Div 6 final between the first place Minge taking on the third seed Heismans for the right to win the first ever Div 6 crown. Welcome to my broadcast partner, David De La Rocca. Dave, your maiden voyage here. Your thoughts as we approach game time.
I'm definitely excited. I've been looking for this opportunity. I really think this is going to be a great game.
Of course, you look at your keys for today's game. Looking at the Minge, what is it that they have to do early to really set the tone?
Oh, setting the tone is all about keeping composure from the onset of the game, making safe plays, but also don't be afraid to stretch the field. And I think also what's going to be very key for them is all about containing Kevin Bustani and containing Tom Chalewski.
For the Heismans, the 3C beat Run Levy Run, the heavily favored pack. What is key for them today?
It's all about the rush. It's all about containing Matt Young, keeping him at bay. It's all about that today, man.
Matt Young had 270 yards rushing this year, second in the Div 6 final. And as we approach game time, the Minge will have the opening drive to kick off the 2014 winter final here in Brossard, Quebec. Don't forget, you can tweet at us, talk to us.
That's right.
In front of us.
At Dave's Republic.
Of course. Matt Young at
Mokan.
quarterback. This year, Matt Young, 32 TDs, 9 INTs, sacked 11 times. So far in the playoffs, 65 yards passing, 2 TDs only, and 1 INT versus the Heismans. And during the playoffs, 4 TDs, 4 INTs. So a lot of work for him facing Gadama Swimdahan, who was 7-1 for the Heismans.
Essentially two different types of quarterbacks here. We're talking about two lethal weapons, lethal in their own ways. I think Matt Young brings a lot more to this team, more than his passing abilities. He's able to run. So like I said before, it's all about keeping him at bay.
Without question, so we are underway here. Div 6 final. We'll find out who wins in 60 minutes time. So away we go. Young looking right, going short, fakes, pumps. Tipped away by Fennis, and it will be 2nd and 10.
That almost looked like a sack right there.
It was very close.
Very close.
But great defense by the Heismans.
Now, what I meant specifically about the rush being very important is in this situation, I mean, it's all about keeping him honest, you know, making those kind of easy throws almost impossible.
2nd and 10 now for the Minge. First series of the opening drive. Young, quick pass out to Shalat. Shalat makes one move, spins out of bounds, and he'll be tackled for 3 yards, tackled by Kevin Bustani.
Now, looking at Shalat, now we have in fact a one of the best receivers in this division.
Without question.
Without a doubt.
Shalat this year, 557 yards receiving 15 TDs. However, there's a huge drop-off in their production after him. So who could be that secondary guy that can carry the load?
You know what? It's a 60-minute game, and sometimes if you got to rely on one guy, then that's exactly what you got to do.
Here we go. First third down of the game. Young looking left, waits, hesitates, slips, and he's sacked by Trevisono, and it'll be 4th and long.
Oh, and they're pumped. They're definitely pumped. You heard them. I heard them all the way from here, man. First sack of the day, most exciting sack of the day.
And David Trevisono, who had a monster season for the Heismans, had 13 sacks in the regular season, 1 sack in the playoffs going into this game, and already the Heismans defense playing excellent football.
Definitely. They're not overreading everything. They're taking their time, and they are absolutely controlling the situation right now.
Here is the Heisman's first drive of the year, of the season of this game, pardon me. Got him a swim in the hand, 7 TDs so far in the playoffs. Swim to hand, rolling to his right, going short to Chalewski. He's going upfield. He'll get close to 8 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a great tackle, but a better run. I think that those are the type of runs that they'll need to rely on throughout the game. Those short, quick passes, they can oftentimes display a lot of weaknesses in a defense.
Chalewski and Kevin Bustani both combined for, ready for this, 91 receptions for over 900 yards. So great season for both. Chalewski trips over to the right side. Swim to hand. Going deep to Chalewski over his head, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and short now.
Tommy's a great guy, but he ain't that tall. Got to be careful with those throws.
The one thing you look at, though, early on, you think the Heismans will try to go with a matchup, obviously going with the trips to the right side of Swimdahan and try and get that right matchup on them?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's probably one of their key plays that they've used throughout the season. The trips, it's often used to kind of like display possible scenarios.
Mark Pagliari, the inside receiver to Swimdahan's right, Chalewski and Bustani to his left. Swimdahan looking left, going over. Bustani catches it, and he'll get enough for the first down, and they're 1 for 1 on 3rd down conversions.
I don't know about you, but I see a lot of aggressive tackles, and that's kind of the tackling that I like to see in a playoff game. Can't afford to let them go. Can't afford to get yak yards. You got to tackle them strong. Can't let go of that flag.
And that is Bustani's first catch of the game, about 6 yards on the play. And Kevin Bustani, again, a fantastic season. 46 catches, 495 yards, and 13 TDs. So far in the playoffs, 11 catches, 4 TDs. So he's having a strong season. Swimdahan rolling to his right now. Swimdahan's going to run. He's going to make one move, spins, and he'll get about 2 yards on the play and make it 2nd and 8.
You know, if there's one thing about Guatemala that he's very underrated in a sense is that he can move a lot with his feet, and you wouldn't really see that on the onset.
Of course, you look at Swimdahan, 76% passer for the Heismans, and he can definitely be accurate. May not be the most powerful arm, but he definitely gets the job done. And there's a ball in the field, which is being taken away, so little delay. So here we go. 2nd and 8 after Swimdahan 2-yard run. Swimdahan looking to his left. Pumps going to the corner. Bustani through his hands, incomplete, and a blatant drop by Kevin Bustani.
That's very characteristic for K-Boost. I mean, that's kind of that's usually the pass that he'll catch every game. You know, he rarely ever drops.
And of course, Joe Stock, one of the key defenders, number 19, on the coverage, 13 tackles, 7 INTs this year. He had 1 INT against the Heismans back in week 2 when the Heismans won 13-12. So he will be probably the guy that will be lined up with Bustani wherever he goes. Oh,
absolutely. And you know what? If that is probably going to be the key matchup throughout the day.
3rd down now. Another 3rd down opportunity for the Heismans. Swimdahan waits, going left, short, caught by Brown, and that will be close for a first down. And it will be enough for a first down.
I guess we don't really talk too much about Brown throughout the season. I guess it's one of those players that has kind of provided kind of a boost to this team. Maybe not as much as Guatemala's main receivers, but I think he provides quite a bit of stability in that position.
Greg Brown this year 6 catches, 43 yards, 1 TD. So far, the Heismans are 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, so they're off to a good start in that department.
I think right now they're going to throw to Mark Pagliari. Big target in the end zone. That's where I would go.
Swimdahan going left, short again. Another drop ball for Kevin Bustani.
I'm telling you, man, the ball has to go to the big guy in the end zone. I mean, Matt Young's a great defender, but look at that size advantage right there. Throw nice and low.
You think nerves are definitely a factor for Bustani?
I think nerves are a factor for everyone on the field right now. I mean, this is a big game with a lot of very big implications. I'd be surprised if there wasn't any nerves.
Here we go, 2nd down now for the Heismans. Swimdahan. High snap, looking, wait, pumps, corner of the end zone. Caught by Chalewski, dropped, another drop ball by the Heismans. This time, Tom Chalewski on the corner route.
Another shocking drop at the corner of the end zone. Maybe they're just cursed. Maybe that side of the end zone is just not in their favor.
So far on this drive, Guatemala Swimdahan is 3 for 7, 1 rush for 2 yards. So this has been a long drive, 8 plays up till now, 2 3rd down conversions. So they've definitely been on point, but they cannot knock it in for 6 points.
How about for you? Do you have nerves today?
No nerves.
You feeling them?
None.
Nah, you've been here before.
I have been here numerous times on the field and off the field at this position. Div 6 final between the Heismans and Minge. Heisman's looking to knock it in for 6 points. Going left, pumps, wails out. He's going to run it in. Swimdahan knocked out of bounds just shy of the goal line for a 3-yard gain.
Well, it kind of looked like he was pushed out, but I don't think that he really – I mean, he could have probably cut in.
And here comes 4th down now for the Heismans. Can they convert on this opportunity? So close, but yet so far on this drive. 3 drop balls, 2 by Bustani, 1 by Chalewski in the corner of the end zone. If they don't score, this is a huge momentum swing for the Minge.
This looking back at the end of the game, this is going to be the drive that is going to determine everything.
Here we go. 4th and a nose. Pagliotti, Bustani, everyone to the left side.
Oh, I like this. I like this.
Of the Heisman's formation here. Rolling out to his right. Pumps, waits, short pass, touchdown.
Yes.
Greg Brown, and 6-0 lead for the Heismans.
Mark it down. A great catch from a very reliable receiver. I can't say enough. I think that was a very interesting quad play. You know, you had quadruple the threat on one side. Tommy dragged out to kind of draw attention. As we saw, he had 3 defenders collected around him. He essentially created a giant opening in the middle of the field, in the middle of the red zone, sorry.
And they're going to go for one here to make it potentially 7-0. Got him a Swimdan, a long drive to open up this series. Swimdan going out, caught by Chalewski, 7-0 for the Heismans. And they converted twice on 3rd down, once on 4th down. A great start for them.
It says a lot about a team when you can score in crunch time. You know, when you score in 4th down in the red zone, you know the situation is at hand. You know that you can't afford to make any more mistakes.
10-play drive for 7 points, and again, for them to cash in on a turnover, on a punt essentially, which became on a turnover by Trevisono's sack against Matt Young. Here we go, second series for the Minge. Young, short pass to Shalott. Caught, Bustani there for the tackle, and it will be a short game for Henry Shalott.
Now, I think we're kind of getting a peek into the type of offense that they're trying to run here. The Minge are trying to run a lot of short plays, trying to get their guys in open field. They're aware that there's a bit of space around Henry Shalott to move around. And I won't be surprised if he ends this game with about 10 to 12 catches.
Well, this year, again, almost 500 yards receiving. Young rolling out to his right, waits, pumps, going deep. Stock open, great job by Bustani, picked off. Away goes Bustani, and he is tackled by Joe Stock, and a huge turnover for the Heismans.
Kind of a weird pass. I can kind of see where he went there. The receiver was open temporarily, but you can't afford to float the ball there, especially with a safety like Kevin Bustani floating around there. I mean, when he smells the ball, it's just feasting time for him.
Bustani, 4th INT in the playoffs this year alone. 8 interceptions during the regular season. Had one against Matt Young back in the Week 2 victory. And here is a golden opportunity for the Heismans to cash in on another turnover right now. Swamdan looking to his left. Pumps going deep. Bustani open. Great catch by Bustani, and he is pushed out at the 5-yard line.
That's a beautiful catch. You know, there's something special about having a receiver that can get up there and make those kind of catches, you know, and especially around in this area, around the 10-yard line, just right in front of the red zone. There's a lot you can do there.
And another golden opportunity now inside the red zone of the Minge. Head referee Dana Roy having a great job so far, controlling the tempo up till now. 7-0 lead for the Heismans. Base formation, Chalewski to the inside on the left hand of Swimdan. Swimdan going right, short pass, touchdown,
there
Mark
you go.
Pagliotti.
Like I said, big target in the red zone. You can't ignore that.
4-yard touchdown for Mark Pagliotti to make it a 13-0 lead for the Heismans, and this is not the start they envisioned for themselves.
It's all about Pagliotti Island in the red zone.
Mark Pagliotti, who was on with us during the press conference, was very confident about his team, and so far they've shown it in the first 10 minutes of this half.
You know, I mean, we've talked throughout the whole season about how nerves have a lot to do with it, and we're starting to see that.
Without question, and Gautama Swimdan has been fantastic, completing a pass to 4 different receivers so far tonight. Swimdan, high snap, rolling to his right, going to the corner, wide open, caught by Trevisono, incomplete, and it will be out of bounds, so it will be no good. 13-0 lead for the Heismans.
Now, Mo, that was pretty close. You know, we could see that Gautama has been attacking the corners.
Right.
You know, he's trying to work with the height advantage of his receivers.
So here is a critical drive for the Minge. So far, they've been held to 6 yards of offense, minus the sack by Trevisono. So really 1 yard of offense up till now. Young bumps, rolling to his left, going deep, wide open is Stock. Great job by Bustani to pass, deflect that ball, second down.
He's hungry today. I mean, he sees the ball, before it even gets there.
And you wonder on that play if there was too much air on that pass by Matt Young. If you put it more on the line, that may have been a completion to David Stock.
But we've kind of known that this is some of the issues that he's had throughout the season. Like the long passes, tend to float. And you can't afford to do that against this defense.
Dave Stock, 16 catches, 193 yards, 1 TD during the regular season. Young, short pass against the Shalott again. Catches it, double teamed, gets away from it, and he is tackled, by Cosadro, and that will be a 2-yard gain.
I'm kind of surprised that they're not attacking the other side of the field as well. I like Mike Pagliatti, but I feel like there's a lot more space to move around on that end. You have a lot of speed on Scott Fenn's side, which would be the right side of the defense.
Cosadro this year, 21 tackles, 2 INTs, having a strong season for the Heismans. Third down, pardon me. Young going deep, wide open, over the head of Zucker, incomplete. Another incompletion on third down, 0 for 2, and that is another punt. And this could be a deep issue now for the Minge if they can't convert on their ensuing drive and stop the Heismans right now.
It wasn't a terrible play. Attacking the middle of the field sometimes can work, especially when the safeties are separated, when they're playing a very tight cover 2. In this situation, there was a very big opening in the middle. The ball wasn't there.
Of course, right now, some key stats. Heismans have been 2 for 2 on third down conversions. Minge 0 for 2 on third down conversions, and you can see right now with them being down 13 to the Heismans. Swim to hand. Rolling to his right. He's going to run. Short pass to Chalewski up the sidelines, and he is tackled by Zucker for about a 6-yard gain and a second down.
There's a lot of movement with this team. There's a lot of movement to try to attack everything short, and try to get the defense looking in the wrong direction, try to expand the field as well. Nothing wrong with that. The Minge are trying to do that as well, but they're not disguising it as much.
Without question. The Minge playing a physical game against the Golden Girls to win that one. And you wonder if they're maybe physically worn out, because you look at Jean-Guy, Golden Girls, 2 physical teams, and you can see how it was in those 2 matches before the final. Swim to hand. Rolling to his right again. Shorts open in the middle, through the hands of Trevisono, incomplete. Third down coming up.
I got to say, man, I kind of wish I was here sometimes, in the finals. Never been here. But I could see how amazing it could feel, being on the field, knowing that you're 60 minutes away from hoisting that trophy.
Well, right now, the Minge have a lot of work to do if they want to get that trophy, whereas the Heisman's up 13-0, capitalizing on a Matt Young INT for a touchdown. Can he convert now? Got him Swimdahan on the third down opportunity. Swimdahan rolling to his right again. Going wide open, Chalewski through his hands, and that could have been another 6-pointer for the Heismans.
Yes, they are up by 13 points, but it's important to keep the composure because, it's a short game, and we've seen it before. Teams have gone up by quite a bit, but they end up losing the game.
Fourth down coming up here, and the Heismans are going to go for it, it appears. And you look at Swimdahan's 6 incompletions so far. 4 have been drop balls, 2 in the end zone, and that one could have been another touchdown. So, really, it could be 19-0 for the Heismans.
That's it. I mean, look, it's only 13 points, but can't get ahead of yourself. There's a lot of game to be played. There's 45 minutes left. Anything can happen.
Big opportunity now for the Heismans. Can the Minge hold serve right now? Swimdahan waits. Short pass. Bustani through his hands and incomplete. A turnover on downs. It'll be now Minge ball. Another drop ball by Kevin Bustani.
So, in Mocon's perspective, is this the kind of play that you would have gone for on fourth down, or would you have punted?
I would have punted.
Yeah, you think so?
I think your defense is playing well. I would have punted that ball and let things play out from there. But now you give the Minge real estate right now, which they can convert as we speak. Matt Young looking to cash it in. Rolling to his right. Makes one move. He's going to run. Spins. Gets around Fennis, and he'll get about 4 yards on the run. And it'll be second down.
You see, in my perspective, I think I differ from you in that. I don't know if I think I would have gone for it.
Right.
Maybe something a little bit safer as a play. but definitely go for it. You know, the momentum's on your side. The opposing team, in this case the Minge, haven't been doing much with their drives. I think it's important to capitalize early in the game when the momentum is on your side. But that being said, it's important to go with a safe play in that situation. You know, throwing it out to the sideline sometimes it can be kind of tricky.
Right. 2nd down and 6 for Matt Young and the Minge. Young going over the middle, wide open, cut, and it is incomplete, out of bounds. Stock had 1 foot, not 2 feet in. It'll be 3rd down now for the Minge.
It's so important to know where you are in the red zone. I mean, I can't say that enough. You know, he wasn't out by inches. He was out by a full foot.
That was a lot of foots. A lot of feet out there.
A lot of foots.
Yeah.
In the words of Mokan. Mo Claw. Where's the claw today? You're not sporting it?
No, not today.
I thought you'd wear the gold one today.
Young. Over
He's
the middle
got options.
again. Stock, touchdown. Big conversion and a touchdown for the Minge as they now cut the lead to 13-6.
And in this situation, he knew where his footing was. He knew where the red zone is, and he capitalized.
And the key, they converted on 3rd down.
Yep.
Scoring 6 points here. And we talk about points here. This is a 12-point swing because Heismans could have been up 19. Now they're only up by 7, pending the extra point here for the Minge.
You know, it's like I was saying, you got to keep your composure.
Nine pass, Stock in. Joe Stock in, and is now 13-7 for the Heismans.
And just like that, they're back in it.
Incredible how the turn of events we've seen all throughout the playoffs where teams are up by 2 scores, end up losing by 1 score. We'll look back at this if the Minge were to win this game on whether or not this was the determining factor in why they won or lost.
Absolutely. And you know what? I mean, this is exactly the kind of game that we predicted it would be. We knew that it was going to be, it was going to be a street fight.
A street fight indeed. And right now, Kevin Bustani
The
has
brass
more
knuckles
drops.
are out.
More drops than catches. Quads left.
Here we go. Quads formation.
Sono now coming over next to Bustani to his left. Swim to hand, waiting. Over the middle, dangerous pass. Almost picked up by Matt Young, 2nd down.
Smart play. I mean, I can see why they would do that. The defense has seen this play multiple times now. They know that the key target is Tom Chalewski. The ball didn't go there, but I could see this play working later down the line. 2nd
down now for the Heismans, and right now you wonder if momentum may be shifting towards the Minge, given that they made a big stop on turnovers, get a touchdown, and they were that close to getting the INT on Gautama Swimdahan, who so far has 8 incompletions.
It's going to be all about this drive right here.
Swimdahan rolling to his right. Swimdahan going over the middle. Wide open Chalewski. He's away, and he's tackled by Joe Stock at the 5. A huge grab and 2nd down conversion.
Now, that is the kind of throw that Gautama can throw. I mean, that's the kind of throw that he can pass, and it's the type of route that we've seen him throw throughout the season. I mean, it's a very smart play because you're essentially finding the weakness between 2 safeties that are basically playing very, very, very wide.
Right.
And you know, he didn't capitalize on it before, but in this case, turned into a 30-yard pass.
35-yard grab by Tom Chalewski, and now they're knocking on the door for another touchdown. Bustani to his left. Rolling to his right. Pumps over. Incomplete. Intended for Greg Brown, and it'll be 2nd down.
Street fight continues. The brass knuckles are out.
And that's the one thing you have to look at. If you're the Minge, do you want to get really aggressive, maybe risk having a penalty go your way, or is that the style that they have to employ the rest of the way?
Absolutely. It's all about stating your intentions. It's all about letting the team know that you're not going to let anything pass. I mean, but at the same time, other situations might arise where, like, Tommy will catch another 30-yard pass or something. It's important to be aggressive but not over-pursue.
Baliotti, Trustono 2, swim to hands right. Chalewski and Bustani to the left. Pump, going to the corner. Over the head, intended for Chalewski and Bustani. It will be now 3rd down for the Heismans.
He overthrew 2 wide-open receivers. I mean, the play was there.
We're inside of 5 plays now. This is a big swing. If Heismans were to score, they get the ball back 2nd half.
They do. And it's very, very important that the Minge stop them right now.
For the Minge. Absolutely.
But a lot of times, whenever we think about red zone opportunities, they're not that easy. There's less field for a defense to protect. So there's a lot more clutter.
Without question. And here we go. Again, a base formation. Chalewski, Bustani to the left. Brown snapping the ball.
Now he's snapping it.
Going to his left. Pumps, waits, over the middle. Pagliari, touchdown, and he is knocked over.
Leveled.
Incomplete. It'll be fourth down now coming up for the Heismans, and Mark Pagliari could have had the 6-pointer right there.
Well, to be fair, he did take a forearm to the face, but, like I said, street fight. You got to put your foot down. You got to know when to take out the take off the belt.
And so far today, the Heismans are 2 for 4 on third down conversions, either for a first down or a touchdown, whereas in the first 10 minutes, they were 2 for 2, but right now they're not being able to cash it in. But another fourth down situation for them. Can they convert for another 6-pointer?
I think they have a very high chance of doing that right now. It's all about getting the throw in the right spot.
Swimdan, looking to his left, pumps, going, Bustani, touchdown.
That's in.
And is now 19-7 for the Heismans.
Oh, they're definitely not happy that Mark Pagliari dropped the last pass, but they're definitely not happy that he got leveled.
Third touchdown pass for Gautam Swimdan. First touchdown grab of the game for Kevin Bustani, and is now 19-7 for the Heismans.
But I almost feel like the Minge defense in the red zone, I feel like they're too stagnant. They're not moving around enough. This is a very fast team. It's a very physical team. You can't afford to just stay in a spot. You have to look at what's around you.
And here comes a critical extra point attempt for the Heismans. Swimdan going right, short pass through the hands of Pagliari. It won't be no good on that play, pardon me. And it'll be 19-7 now with about 3 plays, I believe, left in the first half.
It's going to all be about this drive coming up right now. But look, all in all, thus far, I think we have a very interesting game on our hands. We have 2 very strong teams. Now we see why they're here. We see exactly why they're in the finals.
Well, Matt Young so far today has completed 4 passes to 2 receivers. Henry Shalat has 3 catches for 8 yards.
Defense is barely ready for this one.
Young, reverse pass to Shalat. Shalat going left, going around Pagliari, makes one move, gets about 7 yards, 8 yards on the play, and it'll be second down now for the Minge.
I don't know if it's just me, but it seemed like the Heismans weren't ready for that play. It seemed like they were kind of off. They weren't sure where they were playing, and that was actually a very interesting play to call, a reverse run. You're trying to take advantage of a defense that's not in position at the start of the snap.
2 plays left, and now in the half, Danny Roy signaling the whistle, and so they can't run in this play. So it's a pass, no question about that. Can Matt Young stretch the field and get this team back in the game, down by 12 late in the first half?
Heisman's
High
defense
snap.
playing very, 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 very
Short pass
shallow.
to Shalat. Shalat makes one move, and he is stopped for a minimal gain. It'll be third down now, and a questionable play call by Matt Young on that.
Well, in a way, the defense was playing. They were playing quite far from the line of scrimmage, so I could see why they would want to go short. But I don't know. Like you said, I don't feel like that was the right call. You got to go for the end zone.
Now they're in a third down situation, 1 for 3 so far, and they converted that third down on a touchdown opportunity by Stock earlier in the first half. Young looking to his left, pumps, going to the corner of the end zone.
That's a touchdown.
Great catch by Joe Stock, touchdown.
It's all about using that size advantage, big receiver, big hands, in a prime position.
20-yard touchdown grab for Joe Stock, and is now 19-13 for the Heismans. And you wonder now, Dave, momentum could be back with Minge if they're able to convert this and be down only by potentially 6, if not 5 points.
Oh, I think regardless of the outcome of this conversion, I think the momentum is swinging in their way. They scored just before the end of the half,
Young pumps, and he is sacked by Trivistono, so they won't convert on that play. And after the first half, it is 19-13 for the Heismans. Dave, your thoughts on the first half, how it's played out? So far today, Matt Young, not the best stats. He's only completed to 3 different receivers, whereas you look at Gautam Swimdahan, he's had 9 incompletions, but 4 of them have been on drop balls.
I think in general, both quarterbacks are kind of playing like how we'd expect them to play. Matt Young hasn't been running as much as we thought he would, but at the same time, he's trying to spread the ball as much as he can, but he doesn't have that much opening. However, I do feel like in a Heisman's respect, they're giving the Minge a lot of chance to swing the momentum. Yes, the Heismans do have a couple of interceptions. They have multiple touchdowns.
Right.
They start off with a lead, but they kind of wind it down a little bit too much towards the end of the half, and we see that a lot in FPF. We see that where teams get overconfident. They know that they're up. They feel like they have breathing room, but there's no such thing as breathing room in FPF. There never is.
Well, you look at some other first half stats in this game. Tom Chalewski, 4 catches, close enough to 50 yards. These aren't the official stats here, but close to 50 yards, 1 touchdown grab. Kevin Bustani, tough day at the office, but so far he's been making the big catch when he had to.
Yep, on defense as well.
Absolutely, with the big INT. What are your keys for the second half for the Minge to get back in this game?
Oh, definitely. The passing percentage has to go up. I think also Matt can't abandon the run. The run is what makes him effective. It's what keeps the defenses honest. I think if they stray too far from their original game plan, they might lose sight of their true goal, which is to win this championship.
Without question, so far in the first half. Remember, Mocon here, Dave De La Rocca, head referee Danny Roy.
I gotta say, I like the outfits, man. You're dressed all professional. I'm dressed in my Pro Bowl attire, even if Eagle doesn't like it. I do, however, feel that regardless of how we're dressed, I think we're performing quite well.
Absolutely, and no question about that.
But how about for you? What do you think? Like, looking at this, what do you think is going to be the main key for the Minge?
The key, I believe, for the Minge is that Matt Young's got to spread that ball. So far in the first half, we've seen him complete the ball to 3 receivers. I mean, you got Joe Stock, you got the other Stock brother.
Let's look at the camera.
You got Henry Schalott. Yeah, we're professional, no question. But you look at the talent, though. There's a huge drop-off in production value where Henry Schalott was the offense this year, where he had 557 yards receiving. After that, though, Zucker had 148 yards. Hirschman, 59 yards. Joe Stock, 171 yards. So someone's got to step up to the plate and be the second and third option if they're going to win this game.
And the playoffs is always about that player stepping up. It's always about having another option. You can't always rely on that one guy, because going into the playoffs, teams know who your main target is.
Without question.
You can't always rely on that one guy. And yes, I think for them, but once again, going back to the Heismans, you have to limit the drops. They're doing a fantastic job of keeping Matt Young away from the run and forcing him to do what he's not comfortable at doing, which is throw deep. But at the same time, they are giving up a little bit too much space. So they need to tighten up the D and stop dropping passes.
All right, here we go. Coming up, the second half, the Heismans will have the ball. And for those who see X-Men, that's the second uniform for the Heismans. They wear burnt red, but unfortunately for them, they can't wear that today against the number 1 seed Minge, who wear the fire engine red. Swim that, rolling to his left. Short pass to Chalewski. Chalewski goes upfield, makes one move, and he'll be tackled for a 9-yard gain by Zucker.
This is their signature play. I mean, we've seen it today, but we've seen it throughout the season. Bringing out the left side slot and having him drag across the other side of the field. It kind of creates space. It creates space. It creates a cluster of coverage. Oftentimes creating space on the other side of the field as well, in case your guy's not open.
Second and short now for the Heismans. Mark Bagliati, slot right. David Trujillo, the wide receiver, to the right side. Going deep. Bustani wide open. He's going to be in. Touchdown, Kevin Bustani. And a big backbreaker move by Bustani to get that 32-yard touchdown to make it a 25-13 lead.
Great catch, but a very questionable tackle at the end. I mean, I think that was Matt Young.
Matt Young on the play.
Yeah, Matt Young on the play missed a tackle at the 1-yard line. Those are important tackles to make, because you might think that it's just a touchdown, but you're giving your team a chance to stop them from scoring in the next 4 plays.
A huge grab, a 32-yard touchdown by Kevin Bustani. And now here's the extra point coming up for Swimdahan and the Heismans. Looking to his left, rolling out to his left. Bagliati touchdown, and it is a convert of 1. 26-13 now for the Heismans.
I mean, how could you not throw to him? I mean, it's a big target. He catches it with his body. It's he's the one player in the field that generally isn't covered, so he's usually gonna be open.
How important is this drive now for the Minge? They're down 2 scores, It seems like they've not been able to get rolling here. Can Matt Young lead them on a drive and score points?
If they don't score now, it's going to turn from a street fight into a beating.
That's not good.
And no one wants that.
Wide snap. Young going to his left. Stock makes one move. Goes around Pagliari, who gets him for about a 5-yard gain. And that's the first time he's gone to his left in this game.
Well, no, that's the second time because they scored there before. They scored that same receiver just before.
Touchdown, yeah.
So I think going back to what you were saying about them having another threat, that threat is there. They have the size advantage on that side. That side of the field, with Pagliari playing the short flat, I think they have a lot more space to move. It's going to be less reactionary on that side. So if they really want to improve on that completion rate and move the ball, it's got to go to Stock.
Chalewski and Pagliari to our right on the TV screen. Young looking over the middle, wide open is Stock. He's got real estate. Makes one move up the sideline. Makes another move. Stock gets his way down into the 5-yard line. There's a flag on the play. That'll be probably UR or incidental contact on that play. But Joe Stock gets them deep into territory.
3 referees. If there's one thing that we know about the playoffs is that having 3 different referees, they rarely will miss calls.
Well, that is going to get them inside the red zone, but we'll push him back. Joe Stock getting called for contact, and that will give them some space to work with. But nonetheless, though, down by 2 scores, they can't go backwards. They have to go forward.
It's like I was saying. I mean, I think they just found what the kryptonite of the Heismans might be.
Young looking to his right, short pass out to Zucker. Zucker makes one move, and he'll get about 2 yards on the play, tackled by Colasadro, and it'll be second down now. I
mean, the play calling at this point, it's spreading around. He's looking for all of these quick drags. He's trying to find openings. I mean, the safeties are playing quite deep. There's space to move.
Second down coming up. Darren Basmajan, who will be here for the 6 o'clock game for the Div 5 final. Game changers against Ghost. Stay tuned for that. Young looking right, pumps. Going over the middle. Touchdown, Henry Shalat. 7-yard touchdown is now 26-20 for the Heismans.
He seems to be attacking that midpoint of the red zone. It seems like an area that has the least amount of coverage. I mean, it seems like the Heismans are kind of there's definitely an opening there, and there's definitely real estate for them to throw the ball. It's a very smart, safe play to throw as well, because you generally won't have too much coverage in the far back center of the end zone.
Critical extra point now for the Minge. Over the middle. Great catch by Stock. It is a convert. It is now 26-20, a 6-point lead now. One possession. This could definitely be a momentum changer for the Minge.
And once again, going to that back center of the red zone, an area that can definitely be exploited against this team. Smart play by Matt Young. The momentum is shifting. The street fight is on.
It went from being a street fight to almost a beatdown. Back to a street fight, according to Dave De La Rocca. So we're almost there. Timeout called by the Minge. So they stop the clock here. 1 timeout left in this game for them. They got to be very cautious when they use this next timeout and make sure they don't use it at the wrong time.
Yeah, they don't want to be using timeouts the way I use them. Like their tissues. You gotta be smart about them sometimes. Can't just call them whatever. You can't call them if your guys like shoelaces are untied. You gotta really think it out properly. I mean, we've done that. I think I've called a timeout once because my shoelaces were untied, and my whole team almost got rid of me because of that. So, but going back to the whole street fight thing, I mean, there are some punches being landed, some uppercuts, some forearms, a couple of knees.
Well, Henry Shalat so far 5 catches. Surprisingly enough, he's been you ready for this? 17 yards, one touchdown.
I mean, he's being covered short. He's double covered most of the time. So
short, rolling to his right. Chalewski again, Stock there for the tackle. Short gain on the play, but Joe Stock's been very effective in the second half.
If I can remember correctly, I think that's the 6th time they use this call. It's a smart play, very safe. I'm not going to go on too much about it because talked about it enough, throughout so far. But they have used it quite a few times. What I'd like to see is them shift it over to the other side of the field instead of using it. To the right, maybe shift it to the left side.
Well, you look at the strength of the Minge defense. Matt Young, Joe Stock, them alone combined, you ready for this? 11 INTs. So maybe Swimdown's trying to sway away from them.
Absolutely.
Stray away from them, pardon me, and not go to their direction too often.
Well, I mean, at the same time, Swimdown has scored a few touchdowns on their side as well. So
Swimdown. High snap. Bump. roll out. He has nowhere to go. He's sacked by Shalat, and a big play for the Minge.
Hey, I mean, if there's no one open, no point of throw and enforcing it. I mean, sometimes, the best play is just not making a play.
First sack of game for Henry Shalat. 7-yard loss. A critical third down now for the Heismans. Not much in the playbook they can call to get a first down, but should you be cautious in what you do up by 6 and momentum teetering towards the Minge way?
Please. There's no reason to be cautious. This is the finals. It's about taking risks. It's about being bold.
So far today, the Heisman's 2 for 4 on third down opportunities and touchdowns. Can they convert to make this 3 for 5 on a critical third down, up by 6 in the second half of the District 6 final? Dave De La Rocca, Mocon here in Brossard, Quebec.
Beautiful Brossard, Quebec.
Swimhan rolling to his right, going over the middle. Brown catches it, and he'll be very close. And he's tackled.
That is just before the line, eh?
Yeah,
right before.
tackled by Sachs, and it'll be fourth down.
Fourth down, but yes, once again, it's a smart play. It's the same play that they've been running. With the drag over to the right side, but this time he went to the other side. He went to Joe Stock's specific zone coverage, and I think that was quite effective in giving them enough space to move around.
And here comes a big play right now. This could be it right now for the Heismans. Swim to hand calls back the huddle.
He sees something.
Fourth and 2. Looks
Yep.
like 4th and 2 right now. What will be up the sleeve of Gaudemus Swimnan? Can the Minge stop him right now? Shalat almost offside. Swimnan, he's going to run it in. A flag on the play will be blocking the rusher, and they'll push him back.
Yeah.
So it'll be fourth down, repeat again.
So that is a rusher interference? Is that it?
It looks like it's rusher interference. Yeah. Now, if you're Heisman's, pardon me, what do you do? Do you go for it again, or do you punt the ball away considering you're up by 6 points?
No, I think that where they are right now in the field, they are currently at the halfway point of the field. I don't think there's a purpose of punting because essentially, if you punt, you're giving the team like 20, maybe 20 yards less. Is that it? Am I right about that?
Eagle is saying, yeah, you're absolutely right.
He likes when I'm kind of on par with some stuff. He likes when my information is not off. But no, I don't think punting is a good idea at all in this situation. Like once again, I think you got to be bold. And also, if by punting, what are you telling the other team? You're telling the other team that essentially, like, nope, give up on this drive.
So far, the Heismans have ran 27 unofficial plays according to our stats.
Man, you get all the stats everywhere. I love it.
Try to have the stats ready for everyone.
Mocon, if there's one thing, man, stat keeper of the year, you say that your stats are unofficial, but I can guarantee that these stats he's giving you are in fact legitimate.
And not only that, though, Minge have run 17 plays, so a 10-play difference right now. They've kept this defense on the field. So you wonder if fatigue may be a factor, and they're going to go for it on 4th and long.
I don't want to hear the word fatigue.
But they
it's
punted
a short
the ball
game
now.
Yeah. Okay, they punted it. I still don't like this at all. I don't like the fact that they punted it. If anything, it shows weakness in your team. It shows that you don't have a confidence in your offense, and it's giving the other team more momentum than you ever want to give them. And over what? Like I said, 20 yards?
Well, it was a 6-point deficit at half. It's a 6-point deficit now. Can the Minge tie it up and potentially go up by 1, if not 2 points? Matt Young is now on stage. Young, short pass to Shalat. Oh, dangerous play, and Bustani almost had the pick. Incomplete.
And miraculously, if I had to bet on it, I think the ball went off his head.
It may have gone off his head, yeah. He was going for the tackle, and then it went off his head.
So as a stat keeper, right, like, if I get let's say a ball deflects off someone's head, is that considered a deflection?
We should ask our head stat keeper, Jonathan, about that, if he calls it a pass deflection.
Because, I mean, it should be a different stat for head deflection.
Second down now and 10. Young, short. Zucker with a catch. Chalewski makes the tackle, about a 4-yard gain. It will be 3rd and 6. A critical third down coming up.
And it could be that they decided to punt the ball because they have a lot of they do have a lot of confidence in their defense. There's no doubt about that. And I don't want to make it seem like it was a terrible decision. Perhaps they have enough confidence to feel that, listen, we're going to stop them here. We're going to swing the momentum back in our favor by getting the ball short. But then again, I mean, they only have to make a couple more yards to get that first down, and at that point they're back at where. They're practically where the ball was turned over anyway.
1 for 3 so far on third down conversions for the Minge. Young, adjustment
of a flag belt. Gentlemen, always remember to keep your flag belt visible.
Away we go. Big play coming up here for the Minge. Young looking to the right, going over the middle, wide open is Stock, through his hands, a critical drop by Stock, and that will force a fourth down. What do you do now? Do you go for it, or do you punt the ball away?
No, you got to go for it. I mean, I've said it from the beginning. I'm not going to change my mind. You got to go for it.
Not much time left in the second half, so. But they are going to punt the ball away, and got him a swim hand will have an opportunity to put the kill shot in up by 6.
You know, I mean, this has been one hell of a drive. I mean, it's exhausting to almost play call, I think. Are you exhausted?
No.
You don't look too exhausted.
No.
You look like you're ready to go out there and play.
I'm always ready to play. Always ready to play.
Are you? Because, I mean, you took off half the season.
I did, in fingery. Injury.
Yeah.
Fingery.
Yeah.
Finger injury.
Yep. Sure.
These headsets, the
Yep.
echoes really messing me up.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Yep. All right.
Big drive here for the Heismans. Can they kill off the Minge right now?
It's all about the kill shot right here.
Swim net, no one open. Finds Pagliotti, short gain, tackled by Davison. The 2 press conference mates meeting for a collision course for a 4-yard gain.
What was that about mates?
They were mates, press conference mates.
Press conference mates. It's pretty good. And yes, I mean, looking back at the press conference, I mean, it really, really kind of gave us an idea of what this game would be like. I mean, they were both confident. They knew that coming into this game that there was going to be a lot of scoring, that it was going to be all about keeping the momentum in their favor. And we see that today. 2nd
down and 6 for the Heismans. Swim to hand. Young dropping back into coverage. Swim to hand, going to the left. Bustani with the catch. Makes one move, tacked by Sachs. And
I think
that'll be
that's a
another
first down.
4-yard. That'll be close to first down. It'll be short.
Yeah, short, just short.
Short.
Referees are doing a good job of spotting the ball. You know,
and here comes another 3rd down situation, Dave. And so far, 2 for 5 are the Heismans. Can they make it 3 for 6?
You know, looking at this play, I see the defense playing very tight. It's going to be hard, but there are definitely opportunities. And also, we see Joe Stock on Bustani. Big matchup right there.
Swimmerhand makes one move. He's got real estate. He's going to spin out, and he'll get enough for the first down and more, and a fresh set of downs for the Heisman.
And in this situation, I mean, the Minge defense specifically changed for the run. They knew that there was going to be a run. That's the reason why they brought Matt in. They brought Joe Stock out to cover Bustani. If anything, I like the matchup of Joe Stock on Bustani. I think that it's a very good size advantage. But yes, that is a specific play right there where they anticipated the run but did a poor job stopping it.
3 for 6 now in 3rd down conversions for the Heismans, up by 6 late in the second half. Sucker drops back into coverage. Swim that. Tipped ball by Matt Young, almost picked up. Double coverage intended for Tom Chalewski.
I mean, that's a dangerous pass. You know, you're throwing it. You're throwing it, and then
double coverage.
Double coverage right there. I mean, it's unfathomable why sometimes. At the same time, it's the same play that they've been calling over and over, and I think you can't afford to call that kind of a play over and over. I mean, the Minge, they're a smart defense. They read these things. They know what you're going to do. You can't be over reliant on one play. Not in a championship. You got to be bold.
Chalewski and Bustani to the left. Swim down, rolling to his right. Wide open is Trevisono. He's got real estate. Touchdown. 33.
And just like
20.
that, to prove me wrong, they ran the same play again, and he got it right.
20-yard touchdown for David Trevisono. It is now 33-20. And that could be the kill shot that the Heismans were looking for to potentially win this game.
Yeah, but you're just looking for opportunities to use the word kill shot. So I mean, I think that was definitely the kill shot they were looking for.
Oh, 32, pardon me. 32-20, pending the extra points.
It's good to know that some of us are paying attention, by the way, Mo. Man, I got to say, this really feels like the finals to me, you know. Big game, big implications, big plays being made out here.
So then, middle, Bustani does convert, and there we go, 33-20 now, as I predicted before the extra point attempt.
But there's almost like this level of comfort that you see between Guatemala and his receivers that you just don't see with anyone else. I mean, if there's one thing looking like that we were discussing throughout the season,
right.
You know, if there's one thing that the Heismans have had in terms of an advantage against any opponent they've ever played, is that there is a level of experience. There's a level of comfort that they have. You know, they're able to rely on the receivers in big times. You know, he'll put it up there, and he knows that these guys are going to go and they're going to catch it.
So far today, Matt Young, 11 of 18 on pass completions. Young going over the middle. Stock tipped by Fens, and it is going to be second down.
That is important. That's just too important to drop. And I've been there many times. As I've said throughout the season, this season I've dropped 8 out of 8 interceptions. So I'm no one to talk about this, but I do know what it feels like to drop those, and it's so important. And you got to keep your hands in it.
It is now 2nd and 10. Time is an issue now. Down by 13. They have to push that ball. Can Matt Young throw that deep ball? He hasn't thrown it that often this year, but Henry Charlotte is his go-to guy along with Joe Stock. Can they stretch the field to give Matt Young an opportunity? Young looking to his left, over the middle. Stock catches that. That's Younger Stock. Belliotti, big tackle for 7-yard gain for Mr. Young Stock.
And I think that brings it to what down now? I think it's a third down. Yes, third down. Going to what you were saying, I think that, yes, eventually they'll need to exploit that deep ball. And if there's one thing that they've been very successful at doing is exploiting the mid-deep zones, and I think they should continue to go to that. But I like what they're doing. They're going with something short, but you got to get bold.
The Stock guys have 2 touchdowns today and 3 touchdowns, today. So they've definitely been a force so far. Young rolling to his right. Going over the middle. Intended for Joe Stock. 2 players, Chalewski and Bustani, there on the cover.
That's a dangerous pass. If you're going to throw it downfield like that, you got to throw it with accuracy and you got to throw it fast. You don't want your guys getting their heads blown off in the middle of the field. Got to be careful with that.
And they didn't convert on 3rd down, so they were 1 for 4 now on 3rd down opportunities. And a big 4th down coming up here for.
And I like the play call. I have nothing against the play call, but I think if you're going to throw the ball deep like that, you can't put that much air into it. Your guys are going to get leveled out there. And as we saw there, it was close. There were 2 guys right there. Any more air, they probably would have been blown up.
Young, short pass, Zucker, great catch, gets the 1st down, makes 1 move, tackled by Bustani, and now he'll move the chains and give them a fresh set of downs.
Going to what I was saying about this feeling like a final, I don't know about you, but there's this level of intensity that we feel right here. There's a level of intensity, you don't see during regular season games. Maybe it's because during regular season games you feel like it's just the one wheel in the cog, but here it feels like everybody knows what this is all about.
Zucker this year 17 catches, 3 TDs, 148 yards. Young, short pass, out. Great catch, and it'll be out of bounds for 3-yard gain, it appears. It'll be 2nd down coming up.
So just to be clear, Joe Stock has the orange gloves and Dan Stock has the green ones,
yes,
right? Yeah,
exactly.
Okay. So for those listening and those watching, there's a clear way to distinguish both brothers, aside from the fact that one's taller than the other, and and also because one guy has longer hair. Now you can know based on the color of the gloves.
Hirschman with the catch on the play, 4-yard gain, and he was pushed out of bounds. So the urgency is now on display for the Minge. They have to score, unless otherwise they lose the game. Wide open, Stock, touchdown. And they get that touchdown, 70-yard. And it will now be a 33-26 lead, pending the extra points.
Big catch, crunch time, going back to the Stock. Going back to the Stock.
Younger Stock.
Yeah, to the Younger Stock. But, it's important. They know that there's going to be that opening at the back of the end zone. They've been attacking that throughout the season. Throughout the season, but throughout this game, essentially, they've been attacking that back end of the end zone, and it's working.
Referee calling the whistle, timeout for the Minge. So that's their last timeout. So they have no more to go, and so they're going to have to really convert and hopefully force a turnover of some sort or a 3-and-out.
Oh man, I feel nervous for them almost. I'm sweating here. I don't know what else to say. This is a big play, and it's gonna come all down to this play. There's still some game to be played, so let's not get overexcited. But this is big, very big. Would you go for 1 or 2 points in this?
You go for 1. You're only down by 7. You get that 1-point convert. You make it a 6-point deficit. And we'll find out right now, coming up on this extra point attempt. Can Matt Young convert? Young looking left. Zucker, he is in a big convert. It is now a 6-point lead for the Heismans.
Big catch, accurate throw, incredible play right in front of the cone. God, that's difficult to cover.
33-27, and we're back to what it was halfway through the second half. Heisman's only up by 6. Can they hold serve, or can the Minge force a turnover and get back in this game and potentially tie it up?
This went from a street fight to a war.
So you've elevated it now.
It's up. The elevation level is up.
It's a code red.
It's code red. Yes, that's right, Mo. I like it, man. You got all the war terms down. But yeah, this is huge, man. This is huge. The black eyes. Everybody by the end of this game, everybody's gonna have a black eye.
All right. Big series coming up. Swim down, rolling to his right. Chalewski, one hand grab, and he's tackled by Joe Stock for about a 6-7 yard gain in second down.
They really like that play. They really like it. They're running it all the time, man.
They haven't adjusted yet.
And I almost see that play as kind of like a jab, like a quick punch to kind of get your opponent, a little bit dazed. I think that just before landing an uppercut, you got to land a couple of jabs. You got to work the body a little bit. And those are body punches right there. 2nd
and 4 now for the Heismans. Can Gautama swim to hand, preserve this lead? Chalewski and Bustani to the left. Pagliari slot right. Bustani catches it. First down or more. He's got real estate to go, and he'll get about 10 more yards and the first down.
And you know what? Another jab play. Another body shot. Just something to get the juices flowing right there.
Matt Young, the tackle on the play. And so far today, 4 for 7 on third down conversions. That's been the difference in why the Heismans are up by 6 as opposed to being down in this matchup.
Oh, yeah, no. Very, very effective. And, I can't say enough about how the ball's rolling right here.
5 plays left here. This is it. If they don't stop him now, this game will be done. And here come the trophies. Swim down, rolling, stops. Waits, buying time, going to the corner. Chalewski, great job by Joe Stock. Second down coming up.
My God, there was a lot of movement right there. There's just he saw it open. It was there. If the ball would have been there a little bit faster, possibly a little lower, would have had a chance. But that's an excellent job of covering a lot of turf by Joe Stock.
And here comes 4 plays left, second down.
And I can't say enough about that defensive play. You got to look at the kind of territory he was covering. He essentially went across field to make that play. Very, very excellent play to make in the championship games.
Minge cannot give up the first down, otherwise this game is over. Swimnat rolling to his right again. He's going to run. Swimnat gets around Shalat, and he won't get past Stock, and that will be about a 5-yard gain. It will be a big third down and short.
I'm biting my nails right here, man. I can't say enough. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting hot in the pants. This game is heating up. It really comes down to this play, and we've said that. I feel like I've said it about 7 times this game. I feel like every drive is important.
4 for 7 now.
It's really turning out to be the championship game that we expected it to be.
It's 4 for 7 on third down conversions for the Heismans. Can they make it 5 for 8 and seal off the game for a victory? Can the Minge hold serve and potentially force a turnover or fourth down?
Who'll get the last punch, I guess.
Swimnan. He's got to pass the ball. Rolling to his right. Waits. Short pass. Incomplete. Great job by Dan Stock. The young Stock with a big play, and is now fourth down coming up.
And it seemed almost like he had Kevin Bustani open in the end zone. Kind of an open player right there. A little shocking he didn't go there. Big-time receiver, big, reliable hands in the end zone. Sometimes you got to go for it. Sometimes you have to go with what works.
2 plays left in this game. Can the Minge hold serve and get the ball back with 1 play, or can they force a turnover and maybe do a pick 6? We're about to find out right now here in the Div 6 final. 33-27 for the Heismans. The Heismans are 2 plays away. Quick snap. Swim to hand. Buying time. Looking. And he'll throw it away, and that could be a flag. Yes, it is.
Yep, that's a flag. It is. I'm sweating. Grounding. I'm not even joking, man. I'm sweating right now. It's heating up. It can go any way where,
And the Heismans will turn over the ball. The Minge will have 1 play left.
This is important. It's, they're only down by 6 points. They still have a lot to do. They got to score, and they got to get, they also have to get a conversion, But this drive, essentially, is what is going to make or break them right now.
And on the field right now for the Heismans, Gautama Swimdahan, Kevin Bustani, Tom Chalewski's out there. Chalewski and Bustani are the 2 high ball
the last
catchers.
play, he said?
Last play coming up here.
Now we have a soccer player on the field. Hopefully they remember that there's a football game going on over here.
Timeout called by the Heismans. That's their first time out of the game. And we look at this and how the Minge will look back in this game, whether they win or lose. If they lose this game, they'll look back and say, that first half we looked awful. Second half we played much, much better, and it was too little, too late.
You know, and it's just such a short game, and unfortunately, you have to be consistent throughout the game, you know, or else you find yourself in a situation where you're fighting in the last play, last drive of the game. That's just unfortunate, but it's only a 60-minute game, so you really got to keep your head up. And I mean, look, the game's not over. This is the last play. I want to remind everyone listening and watching, this will essentially determine the champion.
And here it is, the last play. Can the Minge score to save their championship lives right now? Can the Heismans hold serve and win their first ever title? Young, high ball, away we go. Batted touchdown!
That's it.
Ew, no! Unbelievable. Joe Stock caught the ball, but 1 foot was out of bounds.
Oh, I don't know about that, man. That was in. That if I had to say that catch was in.
And
yeah. I hate to say it, but I feel like they just got fleeced. The Minge just got fleeced there. That was a catch at the end of the end zone. Both feet were in.
No, and our broadcast team that's following us right now, the B team, just said that Joe Stock's foot was out of bounds.
No, and they're wrong. I saw the play. That was a catch. That was in.
Well, we'll have to see a replay on that next time. But congratulations to the Heismans on winning the first ever Div 6 title. Quite the finish. Joe Stock may have had the touchdown.
He did have the touchdown,
but his foot was out of bounds according to the
It wasn't out of bounds. It was in.
And the Heismans will get away with a victory as they win by 6. Congratulations to the Heismans. Stay tuned for the trophy presentation, the MVP, and quite the turn for this team. Back in the first few weeks, we thought they had a quarterback issue. They made that switch, and now they're the
and now they're hoisting a trophy. And you know what? You know, very weird situation in the game. You know, there's going to be a lot of conversation, a lot of controversy surrounding that play. You know, there's going to be a lot of discussion as to whether he was in or out. I think we'll have to check the replay for that. But big win for the Heismans. You know, not a bad loss for the Minge. You know, they fought, they kept in it throughout the game. But you know how it goes, man. You got to be consistent. You got to end the way you finish, and you got to start the way you want to end. And I think that looking back at this game, there's a lot of missed opportunities. They played a little too safe, but you know what, Mo? It's been good, and thanks for giving me the chance, man.
Hey, congratulations to the Heismans, and it's been a fun season. We thank those who listen to the podcast or watch the podcast throughout the year. Flagzilla, Dave De La Rocca, a pleasure to work with you. Congratulations to the Heismans as they went 33-27 over the Minge on a controversial ending. Was it a touchdown or was it not a touchdown?
That was a touchdown.
We'll have to look at the replay next time. Coming up next, the Div 5 final between the Game Changers and the Ghosts. Darren Basmajan, Terry Tam, and PZ Della Riza, it appears, will be doing the play-by-play and color commentary. Stay tuned to the continuing coverage of FPF Roadshow here in Broadstar, Quebec. Div 5 final up next. Congrats to the Heismans on winning the first ever Div 6 title here in Broadstar, Quebec.